I'm sharing my screen so you people can able to see that, I hope. So if somebody is not able to see that, just let me know. So today we are going to discuss about the joins first. So what is a join and why we require that and on. So if you remember, selecting the data is basically of three types. One we call it as projection. That means we are going to specify what are all the column data that we want, and the next one is selection, in which case we are going to display only specific set of rows, and the third one is joining. So basically joining is to retrieve the data from two or more tables, and usually we would be placing our data across multiple tables as per the EF code RDBMS concept. So we will be splitting the data across multiple tables and we will relate the tables to each other. When we have our data spread across multiple tables, then if we want the data to be displayed on the console or in a single form, then definitely we need to join those tables and we need to pick up the data. So usually we will be doing joining based on the common column that is there between table 1 and table 2. So the very famous example if we take, so EMP and the DEPT tables. So the employees table and the departments table will be combined based on the department number. So this department number will be the foreign key in EMP table and will be the primary key in the departments table. And when we are relating these two tables with the help of a common column, we usually call that as equijoin. So let us go and see what are all other types of joins that are available, and we will go through the other things. So this is what basically getting the data from multiple tables means. So in the slide you can see we are picking up two tables from the first table, that is employees, and we are picking up one more column from another table, that is departments, and we are combining all these three columns and displaying on the console. So this is what basically joining is going to do, and we do have these types of joins. The first one is cross join, then the natural join, then we have joining with the help of using clause. Then we have something called outer join, and in outer join itself we have left outer and the right outer and full outer joins. And then we have the join, arbitrary join conditions for especially outer joins. So let us go and see what are all these. So this is the standard syntax that we follow, but rather than going through this, let us start with the join things. So first we are going to discuss about natural joins. So natural join is based on the columns in the two tables that have the same name. So that is what we are going to do. So natural join is going to join two tables based on the common column between the tables. So here I would like to ask one question for people who are already having the knowledge. Can we join the table to the same table? I mean to say I have only one table, so can I do joining on the same table? Yes, more likely I can say self join. So is it possible? Yes, the answer is right. We can do joining of one table to the same table itself. We call that as self joining. So even that is possible, that may not be possible with the help of the same column name, but using different column names it is possible to join. So, but in natural join, the condition is two tables should have the same column name. So, this is the mandatory condition. And as you can read in the second point, it selects the rows from two tables and will have the equal values. So, when it is combining two tables, it will identify what are all the equal values are there between the columns, and then only the values which are getting same or which are getting equated, so those will be displayed on the console from both the tables, or otherwise it is going to skip that particular table, that particular row. So it is something you can see an example here. We have the select statement written on both the departments and the locations table. So between departments and locations, there is a common column called location ID, which you can see marked on a red mark. So based on the location ID, so these two tables were joined, and you can see the data displayed on the screen. So this is an example how a natural join will look like, and we can have another thing like using clause. So when we are going to use using clause, as you can read on the slide, if several columns having the same names but the data types doesn't match, then the natural join clause can be modified with the help of using clause to specify the columns that should be used for equi-join. So what it means to say is, suppose you have the data, you have multiple columns, you have two or more columns that are common between two tables, and let's say the data types are not matching. Suppose you have a column the gender, let's say. So in one table the gender was declared as character 1, in another table the same gender is declared as varchar 2. So even though the name of the column is same in both the tables like gender, but still the data types are not matching. So in this kind of situation you can make use of this using clause, and also you can use this using clause if at all there is no column that is matching with the same name. That means in table 1 and table 2 you don't have a common column. In such case also you can go and use this particular using clause. So how we are going to use it, as you can see, we have department ID which is a foreign key in the employees table, and the same department ID is the primary key. So when we are joining these two tables, employees and departments, we are going to exclusively write the using clause like what you can see on the screen. So here we are selecting some columns from both employees, and then we are joining that with departments table and using department ID. So I am asking Oracle to join these two tables based on department ID. You may have other columns also which are common, but exclusively I am asking to join based on department ID. So this is the purpose of using the clause. And then we have something called ambiguous column names, and always whenever no, Pallavi, department ID column data types are not different here, they are same, but still what it is trying to show is if you have more than one common column, then you can make use of this using clause. Okay. So whenever, especially in joining, what we are going to do is, as you can see in this screen, every time because we are retrieving the data from multiple tables, suppose you want to mention a column name, then compulsory you need to write down the table name dot column name, as you can see here. employee ID, if I want to write, I need to write down employees dot employee ID, or employees dot last name, or departments dot location ID. So I need to write down something like this. Now, if your table name is small, then it is fine. But if your table name is very large, then writing down the table name before the column name will be, it will not look that much good. So, for reducing this effort, Oracle introduced the concept called table aliases and column aliases. So, what you can do is, instead of writing the complete name of the table, you can declare a alias name for the table, and you can make use of alias in the particular select statement. So that is what basically it is talking about here. And if you look at the example, this is how we are going to cut down the things. So instead of writing that as employees dot employee ID, I am giving a alias name to the employees table, that is a letter E. And a similar way, for departments table, we are going to give letter D. So now we can retrieve our column names, or we can retrieve the columns from the select statement with the help of this E and D. So you can see there how our select statement was reduced, or it reduced our effort in writing the bigger names. So this is what basically we have. And we can also create the joins based on clause. So the join condition for the natural join is basically an equi join, and use the on clause to specify arbitrary conditions or specify columns to join. So the join condition is separated from other such conditions, and the on clause makes the code easy to understand. So on clause is also similar to using clause. There is no particular difference between on clause and using clause. As you can see on the screen, it is going to give you a similar output, or the same output I say. Only difference is in when using clause, you would be providing the common column name in the bracket. And whereas in on clause, you can specify the column name in first table equating to column name in the second table. So even though you have different column names, you can still use this on clause, and you can equate two tables. So either you use on clause, or you use natural join, or you use using clause, all these will lead to the same result, that is retrieving the data from multiple tables. And this is what we are talking about, self joins. So self joins are possible with the help of on clause. For example, this is one select query which is going to give you information about the self join. So here what we are basically doing is, we are selecting the last name, and we are selecting the manager from employees table, joining again by employees table, and we are saying the manager ID should be equals to the employee ID. So this we are doing with the help of self join. And then we have some additional conditions that we can write on a join condition. Suppose here I am joining two tables, but along with that even I am specifying the AND condition. So what happens is, the data will be retrieved first from the two tables, and then this filter the manager ID equals to 149. So this filter will be applied on the result, and finally it is going to give you the actual values. So we can write some additional conditions also, like AND condition, OR condition. So we can write down all those things. And this is an example where it is going to show how to relate three tables. Like here we are having employees table, then departments table, and then locations table. So we are just combining these three tables to each other. And then we have non-equijoins. If all the join conditions whatever we saw, like the natural join or using clause or using on clause, so all these we have seen, especially when the data between or the column between the two tables is same. Now suppose if the column is not same between two tables, then how we are going to equate those two tables? So that is with the help of equijoins. So one such equijoin example is, as you can see on the screen. So here we are joining the employees table with the job grades table, but employees table and job grades table doesn't have any common column between. So what we are doing basically here is we are joining them based on comparison operators. So we already know between and or comparison operators. So using that we are going to join the two tables. And because there is no common column between the two tables, we call this as non-equijoin. Most of the cases in real time you may not find this kind of situation, because we will be creating the tables based on the equijoins only. So that happens almost in 99% cases. So like getting this non-equijoin in real time is very rare case. And then we have outer joins. So the purpose of outer join is basically to retrieve the extra data that is there in the table. Normally what happens is, suppose table 1 and table 2 are there, and out of these two tables we have one common column. Now when you write a join condition or a select query on join between these two tables, then what Oracle will do is, it will take the common column, or it will equate the common column, and whichever the value is matching, it will pick up that row, and whichever the value is not matching, then it won't pick up the row. So that means basically join conditions will give you the result only when the values are equated or the values are matching between two tables. But suppose there are some extra rows in table 1 or there are some extra rows in table 2, you can't actually go and retrieve those values until unless you use some concept called outer join. So if you take an example on the screen, we have departments table and employees table. On the left hand side you can see departments table, and on the right hand side we have employees table. And in departments table we have a new department that was added. The name of the department is contracting, but no employee was there working under this contracting contracting department. So that is the reason you can when you verify the employees information on the employees table, you can see there is no employee working in that particular department called contracting. Suppose maybe this department was added newly and there are no persons recruited under this department. So in that case what happens is Oracle can't display the data. When you are equating based on a same column, Oracle cannot display you the data because there is no equating factor. So to avoid this, what we are going to do is we are going to use a concept called outer join. And when we use outer join, even the data which is not satisfying the condition, so that data also will be retrieved on or will be displayed on the screen. So something like let's some points we have here. So this is what we are going to do. So you can see over there we are selecting the data from employees, then we are saying left outer join with the departments table and based on the equating condition. And even though there is an employee who doesn't belong to any department, still that data will be retrieved. For example, in the output you can see there is an employee by the last name Grant, but that employee doesn't belongs to any department, and that is the reason you can see the department ID and the department name are null. So employee is there, but that employee was not belonging to any of the departments. Like the same way, we can do right outer join, employees right outer join with the department. So in which case it is going to display the department which doesn't have any employees till now. So maybe, as I said, this department was newly added to the company. So in that case, still no particular worker has been assigned to the department. In that case, we need to use right outer join. And suppose we want to display the extra data between the left outer join, between the table 1 and table 2, then we need to use something called full outer join. So when you use full outer join, you can see on the screen, it is going to display both the employee who doesn't belong to any department as well as the department in which no employee is working. So it is going to do both the things. So then we have Cartesian product. The Cartesian product is also called as cross join. So what happens in Cartesian product, as you can see on the screen. So suppose employees table is having 20 rows and departments table is having 8 rows. So Cartesian product, just like in mathematics, it is going to just multiply the two values and it is going to display the total thing. So 20 into 8 you would be getting displayed with 160 rows. And the same thing we are also called as cross join. So as I said, Cartesian product and cross join are one and same. So that is how we have joins in place. And then we have a little bit about subqueries. So subqueries are nothing but nested select statements. So we can write one select statement inside another select statement. In that case, we are going to call that as nested select or subqueries. Now, where exactly the subqueries are going to help you? So you can see an example over there. So the question is, who has a salary greater than Abel's salary? So our main target is we need to find out the employees who are having the salary greater than an employee called Abel's salary. But for that, first of all, we need to know what is Abel's salary. So what we can do here is we can put down the select query for writing down or for retrieving the Abel's salary in subquery, and we can pass that to the main query. So something like here you can see. So we are writing down the select statement first, the inner select statement, like the select salary from employees where the last name is equals to Abel. So this is going to retrieve some value, for example 11,000, and then we are going to write down the main query, that is select the employee name then salary where the salary is greater than 11,000. So whatever the value you are going to get from subquery, then it is going to pass to the main query. And we have two things, single row subquery and multiple row subquery, and we can make use of all these operators like equal to, greater than, less than, or greater than, equal to, and all. And these are all conditions possible only in single row subqueries. Now what is mean by single row subquery? The subquery which you are writing should result only one value or should give the output of only one value. Then we are going to call it as single row subquery. Suppose the subquery which you have written is retrieving more than one value, then we are going to call it as multiple row subquery. And this is an example. What you are seeing on the screen is single row subquery. And here we have in fact two nested queries or two subqueries for the main query. So we have different examples explaining those things, that we can use a having clause or we can use a group by clause, all those things. Now the main problem over here is, suppose we have a subquery like this where it is resulting in three values, 9000, 6000 and 4200. In these kind of situations, we cannot go and use equals to symbol or greater than equals to or less than or equals to and all. So in which case we are going to use these three comparison conditions. So for single row subqueries, we are going to use these comparison conditions like equals to, greater than or equals to, etc., etc. And if it is a multiple row subquery, like if the subquery is retrieving more than one value, then we are going to use these conditions, which we usually call it as multiple row comparison conditions or multiple row subquery comparison conditions. So an example will be like this. So here what we are doing is, in the subquery we are getting three different salary values, and in the main query we are saying where salary is less than any of these three values. So because we are using that any clause, so our problem will be solved and we will not land up with error. Suppose we are using some equals to operator, then we would be landing up with error, because you cannot say salary is equals to 9000 or 6000 or 4200. You cannot provide all the three values at the same time. So like the same way we can use all operator and in operator also. So that is what basically subquery is going to do. And just like in the mathematics, we have the set operators here, like the union, all, intersect and minus. So suppose you have two tables and you say table 1 union with table 2, then it is going to work similar as the join condition. And if you say table 1 is union all with table 2, then all the columns, all the data will be joined together or combined together. And if you say table 1 intersect with the table 2, then it is going to display only the data which is different from A and B. And if you say table 1 minus table 2, then it is going to display the extra columns or the extra rows which are there in the first table. So basically how our mathematic operators, set operators work, here also the concept is same. And we have some examples on that, like how union and union all or the intersect and minus operator works. So that is how we have the things in place. So and that is how we have the concept about SQL. So as it is basics, I have not dealt in detail. Now I think Raghu joined in. Okay, Raghu, can you please pin your email ID in the chat window, please? Okay, so thank you, Raghu. Now, So I'm just sending SQL material to you guys. So I'm adding up SQL PPT. So please open your email IDs and verify whether you got it or not. So first I'm sending the PPT. Yeah, Pallavi. For Oracle DBA, SQL that much in deeper knowledge is not required because we are not going to, do that much things with SQL. So, if you can able to write a minimum join query, that would be fine. So, in fact, we will never use join conditions also. So I have sent you, those things. So please, you guys check that and let me know if you people received it or not. And now I am sending SQL PDF materials. So, sure, Sanjay, like, may I know to which email ID you have sent the mail? Is it mymailbox.21? Okay. Okay, okay. I got it. I got it. So SQL material is of some big size, so it would take some time. Meanwhile, Sanjay, may I know like as which user you connected? Okay, so one thing we need to know that this user will not, or what I can say. Okay, Recycle bin is not applicable for sys user. Except sys user, it will work for all the other users. So that is the reason you are not able to see that from recycle bin also. Probably you can try with a normal user like Spot or something, then it will work. Yeah, if the other accounts are saying it's locked, after connecting to sys user, you can say this. I am just pinging the command. So just connect to sys user and say this one alter user account unlock. And suppose if you want to unlock Spot user, you can use that one. Then you can connect to Spot and you can do the work. Okay, I have sent the PDFs also, two PDFs, and one more PDF I am sending right now. So just verify guys whether you got it or not. Yeah, even I have sent the third one also. So you would be getting one PPT. I think every one of you got it, and three PDF documents. Okay, and Pallavi, it would be three PDFs, two PDFs in one email and third PDF in another email. And now I am going to send you a PPT on normalization. So I have just sent you that one also. So you'll be getting one SQL PPT, one normalization PPT, then three SQL PDFs. So anybody have not received that, please let me know. Okay, so that is the thing. Okay, and just to share the news with you guys, that Oracle 12c, so the new version after 11G. So from long time we are expecting the database to be released, and today it got released into the market. So you can also download 12c from oracle.com website, and even the documentation related to what are all the new features available. So all those things is ready in that in oracle.com itself. So, but as of now, it may not be necessary for us to go and see about 12C. Uh, but the time when the time by the time we come close to our course. So I would be going through 12C features, and probably I will be discussing about 12C features with you also. So that is one thing, and yeah, Pallavi, like regarding Oracle softwares, 11G you can download it from oracle.com itself, and the 10G it would be available in another link, edelivery.oracle.com. So when we discuss about installation part, then I will show you from where you can download that. Or if not, it is there, then I can upload the software to some uploading site, and you can download from there. So that is all we have for today. Tomorrow we will be starting with Unix. So first we are going to see the installation part, and then we will be proceeding with learning the commands and all other things. Sanjay, can you repeat the question? I couldn't able to get that. Do you mean to say what are the different kind of administration tasks that we perform as a DBA? Okay. Yeah, we do have some different activities, and for that you don't require to create any tables. So because table creation, manipulating the data inside a table, all these will fall under the developers or the application team task. So as a DBA, we would be concentrating on the database level, not on the table level or other objects level. So don't worry about creating tables or something like that. And to do these administration activities, we can use both SQL Plus and even Enterprise Manager also. Yeah, I mean to say SQL Plus is basically a command line interface. You can issue the commands. Whereas instead of issuing commands, if you go for a graphical interface, that we call it as Enterprise Manager. So either in SQL Plus or Enterprise Manager, actions will be same. Only thing is, in Enterprise Manager you will have a single click buttons, but whereas in SQL Plus you need to write down the command. That's it. No issues. Yeah, Raghu. I can upload the past classes, and you can. I will provide that link also, so you people can download that.